The magic garden lily was a curious 12-year-old girl with golden curls that tumbled down her back and eyes as bright as the summer sky. She lived in a small countryside cottage with her grandmother, nestled between rolling hills and thick woodlands. The cottage was old but charming, with a white picket fence and a climbing rose bush that bloomed in soft pinks and reds. Though she loved her home, her heart was always drawn to the mysterious garden behind the house, a place her grandmother warned her never to enter. "It's just an old garden," her grandmother would say with a wistful smile, her wrinkled hands trembling slightly. "Some places are best left alone." But Lily wasn't satisfied with that answer. She had always wondered why her grandmother was so insistent. Why was the garden sealed behind a tall, ivy-covered stone wall? Why was the ancient wooden gate always locked? And most of all, why did the wind seem to whisper her name whenever she passed by? One warm summer afternoon, when curiosity got the better of her, she approached the gate. She hesitated for a moment, her heart pounding. Then, with trembling fingers, she pushed against the old wood. With a slow, eerie creak, the gate swung open. Inside, she found the most breathtaking garden she had ever seen. The air smelled of lavender and honeysuckle, and the ground was covered with soft moss. Flowers of every color bloomed in neat rows, shimmering in the sunlight. Birds sang sweet melodies, and a small brook trickled through the garden, its water sparkling like liquid diamonds. Butterflies fluttered gracefully, landing gently on Lily's outstretched hands. Towering oak trees lined the pathways, their ancient branches reaching towards the heavens. Glowing mushrooms nestled beneath the roots, casting a soft, blue light that made the garden feel otherworldly. Lily's heart swelled with wonder. How could a place so magical have been hidden for so long? As she wandered deeper, she noticed a large ancient oak tree with a hollow in its trunk. Something about it seemed magical, so she stepped closer and whispered, "I wish I could talk to the animals." A sudden gust of wind rustled through the leaves, and then, just like that, she heard a soft voice. "Hello there," said a little robin perched on a branch above her. Lily gasped in delight. "Did you just talk?" "Of course. This is the magic garden," the robin chirped. "Here, wishes come true if they come from the heart." Excited, Lily ran to a patch of golden sunflowers and whispered another wish. "I wish to see the world as the butterflies do." Immediately, a gentle golden glow surrounded her, and suddenly she was soaring above the garden. She could see the world from high above, the trees swaying like waves, the garden a patchwork of brilliant colors. She felt light and free, her heart swelling with joy. After she landed, she found a little fox resting near the brook. "Can the garden grant any wish?" she asked. The fox nodded. "Yes, but it only grants wishes that bring happiness, kindness, or wonder. Greedy wishes never work here." Just then, a soft rustling in the bushes caught her attention. A shimmering green snake slithered out, its emerald scales glinting in the sunlight. "Not all magic is easy to understand," the snake whispered. "Some wishes take time, some lead to adventure, and some change everything." Lily shivered with excitement. "What do you mean?" "The garden tests the heart of the wisher," the snake said. "If you are truly curious, go deeper." Determined, Lily followed a winding path lined with glowing mushrooms. At the end, she found a silver pond, its surface smooth as glass. A gentle deer stood beside it, her antlers woven with ivy and tiny blossoms. "Welcome, Lily," she said a voice like the wind through leaves. "This pond reflects not just your face, but your soul. Look into it and see what you truly desire." Lily knelt and gazed into the water. At first, she saw only her reflection, but soon images danced across. The surface, her grandmother as a young girl, laughing among the flowers, the fox playing joyfully in the tall grass, and even herself growing older, tending to the garden with love and care. She gasped. "This garden has been here for generations." The deer nodded. "It will always be here, as long as someone believes in its magic." Just then, a chilling wind blew through the trees, and a dark shadow stretched across the garden. The temperature dropped suddenly, and a thick fog began to creep across the ground. The air, once filled with the sweet fragrance of flowers, now smelled of damp earth and something bitter. A cold drizzle began to fall, turning the once soft moss into a slippery carpet beneath Lily's feet. From behind the ancient oak tree, a tall, cloaked figure emerged. His face was pale as marble, his eyes as cold as winter's night. "This garden belongs to no one," he said, his voice laced with malice. The fox growled, and the robin fluttered nervously. "Who are you?" Lily asked, stepping forward bravely. "I am Morvain, the keeper of forgotten wishes," he replied. "For centuries, I have claimed the dreams that were abandoned, the hopes that faded, and now I will take this garden's magic for myself." The brook's waters darkened, the flowers drooped, and the once sunny sky filled with heavy gray clouds. Lightning flickered in the distance, and the wind howled through the trees. The garden trembled under Morvain's presence, as if recoiling from his dark energy. Lily's heart pounded. "You can't. The garden's magic is meant to bring happiness, not greed," Morvain sneered. "Magic is power, child, and power belongs to those who take it." The deer stepped forward, her gentle voice turning firm. "Only those with love in their hearts can wield this magic. Your darkness has no place here." Lily took a deep breath. She knew what she had to do. Clutching her hands together, she whispered, "I wish for the garden to be safe from harm forever." A brilliant, golden light erupted from the ground, weaving around the trees, the brook, and the creatures. The sky brightened. The dark clouds began to dissipate, and the warm sun shone once more. Morvain screamed as the light encased him, pushing him back into the shadows. "This isn't over," he howled, before vanishing into the mist. The garden shimmered back to life, its colors brighter than before. The deer smiled warmly at Lily. Your heart was pure, and so the garden listened. Lily knew her final wish now. I wish to protect this garden, to care for it so others can find its magic too. The garden glowed brightly, its warmth surrounding her like a hug. The trees whispered their approval, and the brook laughed with joy. Even the snake nodded in satisfaction before vanishing into the undergrowth. From that day on, Lily visited the magic garden often, sharing its wonders with creatures great and small, always remembering that the most powerful magic of all was kindness, curiosity, and love. And deep in the heart of the garden, the magic continued to grow, waiting for the next curious soul to discover its secrets. The seasons changed, bringing new beauty with each passing month. In the winter, frost covered the leaves like tiny diamonds, and the brook hummed a lullaby beneath a sheet of ice. In the spring, cherry blossoms danced in the breeze, their petals carpeting the ground in a sea of pink. And always the garden stood, safe and full of magic, a haven for those who believed in its wonder. If you loved this story, don't forget to